Yo, 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 this is Chris Blair. I'm coming to you from this little hotel room I was staying in last night. Checking out here in 30 minutes. Before I check out, though, I decided to get on a live stream with my buddy Fernando here, and I'm waiting for him to get on because we're going to talk about a traffic source that, by the way, I'm using this traffic source myself. I'm actually using it, but I'm not an expert on it at this point. I'm just still, I've only been on it now for like a little over a month. So that's why I am not qualified, even though I've gone through training and I've got my stuff going on this particular place, which you're about to learn about here in a second. I'm not qualified. I'm not an expert. You guys, I know I never pretend to be something I'm not. So I got to bring in my buddy, Fernando, in order to bring him on and talk about this in more detail because he's an expert at this. He's been doing this for years. Hey, Fernando, I can see you, but I'm not seeing the little camera to bring you on. Are you on your cell phone, buddy? So just sit tight, guys. We're going to get Fernando on here in a second. In the meantime, I'll greet you guys and talk about a few things that are going on. A lot of people say that Facebook ads are not working, okay? They're saying, oh, Facebook ads, they suck these days. It's too competitive. And, guys, I will say this. First of all, Facebook ads are working. You can get results with Facebook ads. I know I have one private coaching student I'm working with right now who is doing, right now, I just had a conversation the other day. They're currently, with the month still going, they're still scaling, right? They're in the scaling process, right? They're at $65,000 in sales, $65,000 in sales at 22% profit with Facebook ads. That they're driving all their traffic via Facebook, right? They're starting now to diversify on other traffic sources. So, guys, Facebook ads work, but the problem with Facebook ads these days is that the market is more competitive. So you need more originality with your products, and you need to make sure that you have your site set up and know your niche. So it's not a Facebook ads issue; it's a competitive market issue, and you need to come up with the right stuff to sell. Now let's bring in Fernando here, and let's talk about a place you can go outside of Facebook that could help you could change your life and change your business. Okay, so let's invite Fernando on here. Bring Fernando on the camera. Okay, I'm inviting Fernando on. Is it working? I just bring him on. Yeah, this is adding. Good. Facebook is working fine. Good.
Connecting.
Yo, Fernando.
Fernando. Good to see you. Hi, how are you?
I love doing these shared live streams. They're more fun than the normal ones.
Yeah. When we're doing live by yourself, sometimes you have no idea who's watching, and I feel like I'm having an amazing monologue. So, I'm talking to the mirror, right?
Well, I mean, you know who's watching. Facebook shows you, but I mean, I'm saying you just feel lonely sometimes.
Well, I don't use this app. I use like externals like Stream Live or StreamYard, Live. And because of the Facebook rules now with privacy, they have to opt in some areas so that we can know who's actually watching. Of course, nobody opts in because nobody sees the button they have to click. So it's becoming to the point that I have to start using this more. I'm just not used to being on my phone. Like I don't know how I have no idea how you always do this. It's like I literally have to grab it on my hand. So it's weird.
I use the iPad and I have the iPad sitting on a stand. But you can get a stand for your phone.
Well, true story. I have 3 iPads that I have bought for the business, and as soon as I find one of my kids appropriates and they break the screens or they do something with it and they do it with apps, and I'm like, okay, where's my iPad? And then I realized that it's somewhere in the house and it's not in my office.
All right.
So,
hey, by the way, do you have headphones? People are saying you have some issues with the sound. You have like earbuds like these?
Yeah, let me get someone.
Guys, we'll get that fixed. So just hold on for a second. No, he's going to get that fixed. And then we're going to we deliberately wait a little bit to let people get on. Then we'll it's been long enough. We're going to dig into this once Fernando gets his headphones down. We're going to introduce you guys to an awesome new source. Yeah. Since you came on, the audio went weird. Okay. Thanks, Dave, for helping us out. Dave. Josh, good to see you. Josh. Stephen Digg. Gracia, I guess. Gracia, how you pronounce that? I don't speak Spanish. So anyway, he says, I need a swarm of buyers. Yes. We're going to help you out with a new way to get them here in a second. You find your earbuds, buddy?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay,
I'm
cool,
trying
cool.
to.
Okay, cool, cool.
I'm used to using these things. Give me a minute. Yeah. I have to go get my daughter. I need to wear these.
Ronnie, good to see
Okay.
you.
Okay, it's better. Can you
Yep.
hear me better?
Oh, that is
Okay.
much, much better. Oh,
Okay.
is that
Yeah.
better, guys? Is that better?
Well, I mean, when I go live, I have this monster right here that is like super sensitive. So I'm used to speaking aloud in my room, and you can hear me like literally like 6 meters away. You can hear me scream to that thing. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
forget that these things have to be used.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, when you do your live stream with your phone, you should use the earbuds. They're pretty good. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's dig in. The traffic source that we're talking about here is Etsy. Okay, and I personally just got started on Etsy. As I said in the beginning of this thing, I've made some sales on Etsy. We're starting to definitely see improvement in results, but I'm not an Etsy expert, and therefore that's why I brought in my buddy Fernando. Fernando, tell us a little bit how long you've been on Etsy, and your experience with it, and then.
Well, I've been a couple of years in Etsy. I mean, honestly, before 2 years, okay, let's go back a little bit. A couple of years ago, or before, Etsy wasn't attractive for us marketers, right? It was more like for small businesses that were handmade. The moms that were looking to do something in their yard and stuff like that, or in their garage, and this handmade stuff that they could sell. So it wasn't really a marketplace where people would think about launching a six-figure business. At least now in our business model, right? People that like me that were used to selling on eBay, Amazon, and stuff like that, and then later we're looking for ways to expand. Etsy wasn't really there, and even right now, when you mention Etsy, it doesn't sound as glamorous as saying launch a Shopify store, right? I mean, Etsy is one of those marketplaces that have been around and are not known for being moneymakers. However, a couple of years ago, Etsy realized that that they were not really growing and that they were actually in a verge of bankruptcy because these little moms and pops with small businesses we're not really spending money on listings, we're not really spending money on traffic, we're not really spending money on anything, because they were create a source with 20, 30, 40 listings, and at 20 cents a pop. That's not a lot of money for a platform to survive. They were making small sales at 5%. It was not really a lot. So they found a loophole in their own rules that said, that everything has to be handmade. And it's when us, they were kind of hinting at us, hey, you design with your hands. So we found, so they offered the loophole, we grabbed the loophole, and a bunch of us jumped right away into Etsy. And at the same time, Etsy made an arrangement with Printful to say, okay, let's work together. And Printful developed a very nice integration that allowed us to literally in minutes have listings running. Now, as you know, Printful is very good in customer service and stuff like that, good quality product, but it's not scalable. They have a very limited amount of products. Usually the products that you don't really have uniqueness on them. It's always the same apparel products. It's always the same amount of, the shirts, the little embroidery hats that are not that attractive, everything that everybody else sells. But that was nothing setting us apart from anybody. So after a while, we started competing against each other, and it became about a war price on a war pricing deal. We're like, okay, we all have the same Bella shirt, or we have all the Gildan shirt. That's like, well, you are $29.99, and I'm gonna be at $21.99, and I'm gonna be at $20.99, and I'm gonna be at $19.99. It's like, it was like an auction kind of deal. So it kind of like faded a little bit. People kind of lost interest, but other PODs starting noticing that, hey, we can go in as well, and we can offer, ways to do it and help you with integrations. The problem is that when you create a listing on Etsy, it's very difficult to do manual listings where you can create all these sizings and all these colors and connect them all. With integration, it's super easy. So you can go with a shirt, 5 sizes, 5 colors, and create, instead of creating 25 listings, you create one, and it all gets combined together. So integrations became a real issue. Just like when you go into Amazon.com and try to sell, you try to make a listing on Amazon, you have to create the parent ASIN, and then you have to create all these little childs, and then you gotta combine them all together to be able to have one listing. So as integrations come together, we were starting finding ways to find different products that we can separate ourselves from the pack. Now everybody wanted to use the same designs that they had already created for the t-shirts, but in experience that once you go into mugs or you go into hats or you go into canvas or you go into other products that are more unique, your designs need to start changing. They need to evolve in different sizing, different techniques. Shine On, for example, you had to create all these circles around and all these little details, and you had to make sure that it's very easy to read in this small area of a necklace. And all these 4,500 by 5,400 that we had, a lot of people are lazy, that they don't want to jump into doing that. So Etsy become now a place that you can actually do a lot of market testing. You can actually grow a business, and if you can invest some time and effort, it's actually very profitable. Because it's right now the wild west in other areas. All these people trying to get in, but they don't really understand marketplace, or they don't really understand product research. And those who are willing to do a little bit of effort on trying to find a winning product, just like we do when we run Shopify ads, right? We're looking for that winning product. That's why we're willing to test. We are starting to see a big returns in our investment, because there is literally a big market, as you mentioned, 38.6 million
Yeah,
buyers.
38.6 million. And
It's
here, that's
not
the
a
best
small
part. They're
marketplace.
buyers. They're actually looking to buy. They're
Yes,
on
they're
their
looking
shop.
to buy.
Yeah.
So the people don't go into Etsy just to say, Etsy, I'm bored, I'm window shopping. People go window shopping on Pinterest, and that's why everybody needs to have a Pinterest board, because people go window shopping on Pinterest, and that's when they start pinning your pins, because they go with the intention to buy, just not yet. So you connect your Pinterest where you go window shopping, and then later on you remind these people by some targeting in the ad, reminding them that they pin you, and they go to your store. You can convert them. There's a way to retarget ads on Pinterest, if you didn't know. You can actually run retargeting ads on Pinterest. And so whoever who pins you, you can remind them that they have you in their board. Uh, so Etsy is literally, it's a huge marketplace. The problem with this marketplace is that not every single niche works. This is a very female-oriented marketplace. It's not like Amazon, that everybody and their mother goes to Amazon. This one is more like, it's changing little by little, but I don't think it has evolved that fast yet, because it's still a little, unknown, hole for men to go by. Men tend to go to Amazon or eBay. As Google Shopping starts taking more and more notice of Etsy, and Facebook has begin to be run targeting people to Etsy, more men are gonna be interested on shopping to Etsy. Right now, it's still this barrier where you say Etsy, and men are like, oh, this is for men, this is for women. However, women do buy for men. I sell a lot of products for men on Etsy, but they are more like what a woman would buy to a man. They're like the gifts, like the father's gifts, the mom, and stuff like that, the birthday ones, stuff like the more feminine side of the man that the man would never wear kind of product, but the woman would love for her husband to wear, is what you will have good success on Etsy. So, I mean, honestly, right now we are in a good situation where it's still not much competition, where you can do that. And on top of that, you don't compete with a monster called Amazon, inside this platform, because it's a unique marketplace. People who purchase on Etsy don't really believe on Amazon. This is more people who believe on small businesses, because this has always been like that. It's for the small businesses owners. People still go there with the spirit of bargaining. They still go there for the spirit of having some. And you will get once in a while, messages from customers saying, "Hey, if I buy you 4, will you give me a discount?" They still like to do the haggle, like, will you do that? Will you give me free shipping if I buy 5? And a lot of Shopify sellers and Amazon sellers are like very resilient towards those things. And they're like, no, my prices are firm. It's like, no. You have to understand the marketplace you're dealing with. This is the marketplace, where you have to deal with the customer. and the customer is gonna try to reach out, and if you win that customer, they will keep on coming. It's very different when you have, for example, in a store in Amazon.com, the customers belong to Amazon. When you have a customer in Etsy, the customers belong to both of you. Etsy has a
That's really
reputation
cool.
Etsy has a reputation, but they also allow you to make that your own customer, something that no other marketplace in the world offers. No one. I mean,
But
it's incredible how you can now create email lists.
I mean, there's
You can actually.
there's a discussion going on here I'm reading the comments that come through. People are talking about the email list, right? But you have to only contact them via Etsy, right? It's not good to contact them outside of Etsy. Apparently, some people they're saying you can get in trouble with Etsy for that.
No, it's actually you go to the developer forums. It's allowing to have communication with Etsy now.
No, with the
And if
customer who bought from you.
with the customer, yes, with the customer that bought from you or the customers that subscribe to your email list. If you notice, you go right now to the integrations on Etsy, and in the approved vendors, you will find Aweber as a registered, a company inside Etsy. Etsy it's allowing to use Aweber now.
You talked about that in your training, and I kind of led you into that because I saw the discussion going on. So, the person who's coming, that the information you have is kind of old. Things have changed. In fact, one thing that really impressed me the most about Etsy is I thought, this is my own mindset transformation that came with Etsy. I thought, we go in there, we tag, we got to do a lot of research and time tagging our stuff, and then we have to sit there and just wait forever for traffic to come to us, right? And then sort of be hit and miss. And then when I got really surprised when I first started studying about Etsy, and I looked at the promotions section, I was just blown away. They have so many different ways you can promote your listings now. It's really amazing. Why don't we talk a little bit about that, Fernando, since you're more of an expert than I am?
Well, definitely. I mean, Etsy realized that they cannot be Amazon. They needed to do something where they could bring sellers and they could bring a lot of volume, because they needed that revenue from listings. They needed that revenue from the promoted listings. As you know, Amazon.com has made more money from running their internal ad system. Facebook has survived all these years because of the ad system as well, which they're destroying now a little bit with all these stupid rules. But Etsy realized that they have to create something where they can give an opportunity advantage to those people willing to invest in the platform. So they create something called promoted listings. And promoted listings pretty much is, we're going to let you go very cheap on the top of people. You will be in top of the query. If your keywords are in place, we will make sure that you are shown. Now, they have also a double standard, a double dip. If you have, like, for example, a discount in your listing, and you have a promoted listing, you're going to be double the chances that you're going to be on top of that screen. And if you were to offer something like free shipping, the lower the shipping, the more chances you get to be on top. So they are like, okay, you give me a double whammy by giving me a promoted listing, giving me a discount, and giving me, a free shipping or something as close as, I will show you products even more than anybody else's. So, and literally speaking, you can run ads for 5-10 cents per click. It's not per impression, it's per click. What I like about Etsy is that you can be shown today, 4,000 times, and no clicks, you get zero charge, right? So, but when you get all these clicks, you get all this data, and it's what I like about Shopify sellers going into Etsy, for example. And I know your audiences are going into Shopify. We are data analysis. We love to analyze data. And in Etsy, we have all that data. We get how many people actually view your item, how many people have clicked your item, how many people added to cart your item. All this little stuff, that you have to really pay attention. Otherwise, your listing is just a waste of space. Once you go in 3 months and you're like, oh, this listing never showed to anybody, never got viewed, and never got clicked, it's your own fault, right? Because you got the data. After 3 weeks of Etsy, it takes about 3 weeks for a listing to index, right? After 3 weeks, you are not getting clicks or views or anything at all. You need to correct that listing. You need to go and fix that listing. You need to do there's even a tool right now that is $10 a month, I think. What this tool does is that it does A/B testing. Okay, you have your image 1 and image 2, and what this tool does is that from day 1 to 3 it shows one image, then it shows the second, then it shows the first one, then it shows the second. After a while, you get all this A/B data, and it's like, and the ad says, hey, based on my results, you should go with image number 2. This one is getting the conversions. This
That's
one
really
is the
cool.
clicks. This one is not liking. That is something that we don't even have on Shopify. I don't even know why we don't have it on Shopify, but we have it on Etsy, and it's not expensive at all. Another tool that, all these people saying that, hey, you cannot use the customer data, and I call it bullshit, is another tool that is actually registered inside the approved apps. It's an app that for 60 cents per customer, they send a postcard to the customer thanking them for your purchase, and even offering them a coupon. So to the address they provided. So if this is not allowed, why is Etsy allowing us to have those tools?
Yeah.
It's because it is allowed. Now, they haven't fixed those terms and conditions yet, and some are not showing, but if you go to the developer forums where all these developers inside Etsy are telling us what to do, you will see that this is actually allowed. Now, if you go and search, you have SEO, Etsy Rank, which is a tool, erank.com. You go there and you search.
Etsy Rank is what I use.
For the top performer stores, you will see that every top performer store now has a list of emails, a subscription to the email list. So you will see that I'm not bullshitting. Everybody there now has one with saying, hey, you want a coupon? Register my list, and I will send you a coupon right now. Just like we do in a subscription in Shopify stores, now we do it on Etsy.
Okay.
So Etsy realized that it's in our best interest to retarget these customers, because when you go, they now have a Facebook ad section, where they will run that for you. But what they're doing is telling us, I am coming with the pixel. Because if you go to the Google Analytics, you now have the Google number. You can actually go to your Google Analytics page, and you can see the behaviors inside your store.
Hey, I need to go and check out this hotel in 5 minutes, literally in 5 minutes. So and we've already been going for 25 minutes. So why don't we just go ahead and go to the offer? For that, guys, I'm sure you realize that there's some sort of offer here. Fernando came out with a course, and I've been going through the course. I'm about halfway through it right now. I've already made some tweaks to my Etsy. I am immensely impressed with the content. I am convinced no matter what level you are in Etsy, whether you're a beginner or an experienced seller on Etsy, you will get value. It's in beta right now. It's only $100. It's $100. What that means basically is if you can get one new idea, right? Even if you've been on Etsy for 5 years, if you can just get one new tip, you can pay for this course in a heartbeat, right? So I highly recommend you check it out. I'll put the link in the thread and in the post after this when I'm done with this. So you can get it there. And cool. All right.
Yeah,
Anything else
it
you
was
want to say?
priced. I mean, honestly, you should try Etsy. I mean, you're already doing all this other stuff. Honestly, you can be an Etsy running tomorrow. If you already have a Shopify store, all you have to do is literally push your products to Etsy, and you will have a store running in a couple of days.
That's awesome. Actually, shorter than that. I was able to get a store up in about a half day.
Well, I mean, you haven't had a store. You follow my steps of creating the right banner, creating the right, the right content in your About Me page, about all the stuff.
Yeah.
All the little things that you have to do to create credibility, and because Etsy ranks you, but Etsy grades you. It's something that people don't know. People feel like, oh, Etsy only asked me to do this, this, and that. Go ahead and launch. No, Etsy wants to know, even if they tell you this is optional, they grade you. And once they say, okay, this is a credibility issue, these guys are actually professionals, they will give you a better rank, and they show you more and more and more, because they will know that you were willing to give good customer satisfaction. It's a lot of things you can do now.
To be honest, I got to improve my store, but I've been doing it from your course. So
yeah, I mean, I appreciate your comments, and I mean, you can ask me questions anytime you want, Chris.
Thank you.
But honestly, I recommend it. It's not a big investment in my course. It's on beta only for what, 6
Yeah,
more days or something like
I
that.
can't believe how cheap it is. To tell you the truth, but
Well, I follow James Brown's advice. I sometimes think like we really underpriced it, but
no, I think
it,
you did. This is at least more like a $500 course, to tell you the truth. But anyway, that's fine. It is what it is. So, guys,
it is
I'll
what
put
it
the
is.
link in the thread. I'll put the link in the post right after this. Kill the video. I didn't do it before the video because you can't really do it when you go live. But I will add it shortly. I'll edit the video. So grab the link, and yeah, Fernando will see you on the inside. Cheers.
Alrighty, man. Thank you so much, and everybody have a good day.
You too.